Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of love styles and how your childhood experiences shape your relationships. You know, folks, we don't come out the womb knowing how to love. It's something we learn from our earliest relationships, and those experiences, they leave a mark. We're going to break down the 4 main love styles and how your upbringing might be playing a role in your love life today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful content. Let's talk about the secure love style. These folks, they hit the jackpot in childhood. They had parents or caregivers who were consistently loving, supportive, and emotionally present. They learned that love is safe, reliable, and a two-way street. Now, securely attached individuals, they tend to be comfortable with intimacy. They don't freak out when their partner needs a little space, and they don't play games. They're all about open communication, trust, and mutual respect. They know their worth, and they don't settle for anything less than a healthy, fulfilling relationship. Think about it. If you grew up in a home where your emotional needs were met, where you felt seen and heard, you're more likely to approach relationships with that same sense of security. You're not carrying around a bunch of baggage or insecurities from your past. But here's the thing, even if you didn't have that picture-perfect childhood, it doesn't mean you're doomed in the love department. We can learn and grow and develop a more secure attachment style over time. It takes work, no doubt about it, but it's possible. We'll talk more about that later. Now let's move on to the anxious love style. This attachment style is often rooted in early childhood experiences where the foundation of our emotional world is laid. These individuals often experienced inconsistent caregiving in childhood. They might have had parents who were sometimes loving and attentive, but other times distant or emotionally unavailable. This inconsistency creates a sense of anxiety and insecurity around relationships. Imagine a child who never knows if their parent will be warm and caring or cold and detached. This unpredictability can be deeply unsettling. As they grow up, this anxiety and insecurity often translate into their adult relationships. They crave closeness and intimacy, but they also live in constant fear of rejection. People with an anxious attachment style need constant reassurance from their partner. They tend to overthink and overanalyze every little thing, always on the lookout for signs that their partner might leave them. This need for reassurance can manifest in various ways. They might get clingy, demanding, or even possessive because they're terrified of losing their partner. It's like they're always walking on eggshells, trying to avoid rocking the boat. Their past experiences have taught them that love is conditional, that it can be taken away at any moment. This belief makes them feel like they have to constantly prove their worthiness to keep their partner close. They spend a lot of energy trying to impress their partner and make sure they don't do anything that might cause their partner to leave. This constant effort can be exhausting. This need for validation can be exhausting, both for the anxious individual and their partner. It's a vicious cycle that can lead to conflict, resentment, and ultimately, the very thing they fear most, rejection. But there's hope. With self-awareness and a willingness to challenge those negative thought patterns, people with an anxious attachment style can learn to feel more secure in themselves and their relationships. Therapy, mindfulness practices, and open communication with their partner can be incredibly helpful. By understanding the root of their anxiety, they can start to build healthier, more secure relationships. It's a journey, but with effort and support, they can break free from the cycle of anxiety and fear. They can learn to trust in the stability of their relationships and in their own worthiness of love. With time and patience, they can transform their anxious attachment style into a more secure and fulfilling way of relating to others. The key is to believe in the possibility of change and to take proactive steps towards it. Now let's talk about the avoidant love style. This attachment style is often misunderstood, but it's crucial to understand its roots and manifestations. These folks, they often grew up in homes where emotional expression was discouraged or even punished. The environment was such that showing vulnerability was seen as a weakness. Maybe their parents were emotionally distant, or they were taught to be self-sufficient and not rely on others. This kind of upbringing instills a belief that one must handle everything on their own. As a result, they learned to suppress their emotions and keep people at arm's length. This self-protective mechanism becomes a way of life, a shield against potential pain. They equate intimacy with a loss of independence, and they're terrified of getting hurt or suffocated in a relationship. The fear of being vulnerable often outweighs the desire for closeness. People with an avoidant attachment style, they might appear independent, self-sufficient, even aloof. They often excel in environments where emotional detachment is seen as a strength. They value their space and freedom, and they tend to withdraw emotionally when things start to get too close for comfort. This withdrawal is a defense mechanism to maintain their sense of control. They might shy away from commitment, or they might keep their partners at a distance, both physically and emotionally. This distance is their way of protecting themselves from potential heartbreak. They might focus on work, hobbies, or other distractions to avoid dealing with their feelings. These activities provide a safe haven where they don't have to confront their emotional vulnerabilities. Now, it's important to understand that this avoidance isn't about not wanting love or connection, it's more about the fear of what that connection might bring. Deep down, they have the same basic human needs as anyone else. They long for connection, but their past experiences have made them wary. Their past experiences have taught them that it's safer to protect themselves by keeping their heart under lock and key. This self-imposed isolation is a way to avoid potential pain. Breaking down those walls can be a long and challenging process, but it's possible with patience, understanding, and a willingness to confront those deep-seated fears of intimacy. Therapy and supportive relationships can play a crucial role in this journey. Finally, let's talk about the disorganized love style. This particular attachment style is often the most challenging to understand and navigate. This one's a little more complex because it often stems from childhood trauma, neglect, or abuse. These early experiences can leave deep emotional scars that affect how individuals relate to others throughout their lives. These individuals grew up in chaotic and unpredictable environments where their caregivers were often the source of both comfort and fear. Imagine the confusion of seeking solace from the very person who also causes you distress. Talk about a mixed message. This inconsistency can lead to a deep-seated mistrust in others. It's no wonder they have a hard time trusting others and forming stable, secure attachments. The very foundation of their understanding of love and safety is built on shaky ground. People with a disorganized attachment style often exhibit a mix of anxious and avoidant behaviors. They might feel an intense need for closeness but simultaneously fear it. They might desperately crave closeness one minute and then push their partner away the next. This push and pull dynamic can be exhausting for both partners. They might have intense fears of abandonment, but also struggle with intimacy and commitment. This internal conflict creates a turbulent emotional landscape. It's like they're caught in a constant push and pull dynamic, both with themselves and their partners. This can lead to a lot of misunderstandings and emotional pain. Relationships can feel like a battlefield, full of drama, instability, and emotional turmoil. The highs and lows can be extreme, making it hard to find a sense of peace. They might have a hard time regulating their emotions, often feeling overwhelmed by their own feelings, and they might engage in self-sabotaging behaviors that ultimately push people away. These actions can be a way to protect themselves from perceived threats, even if it means hurting their relationships. Healing from this type of attachment trauma takes time, professional help, and a whole lot of self-compassion. It's a journey of self-discovery and learning to build trust again. It's about learning to trust yourself, to understand your triggers, and to develop healthier coping mechanisms for dealing with difficult emotions. With patience and effort, it's possible to create more stable and fulfilling relationships. Thanks for watching. We hope this video helped you understand more about your love style and how it impacts your relationships. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding your own attachment style and the patterns you bring into relationships, you can start to make more conscious choices and break free from unhealthy cycles. Don't forget to leave a comment below and share your thoughts. See you in the next video.